It looks like things have hit a boiling point between 50 Cent and J. Prince. What once may have been handled behind the scenes is now unfolding right in the public eye, and 50 is not backing down. Frustrated and fed up, he is now openly calling out J. Prince, accusing him of trying to force him out of Houston and exposing what he claims are shady behind-the-scenes tactics. According to 50, this is not just about music or territory. It is about power, control, and an alleged pattern of intimidation that he believes J. Prince has been using for years. Now, 50 is not just reacting, he is actively digging, challenging, and peeling back the layers of what he sees as a long-standing extortion playbook. Feeling the pressure mount, J. Prince allegedly unleashed his crew to rattle 50 Cent's business operations, an aggressive move meant to throw him off balance. But if there is one thing we know about 50, it is that he never stays quiet when pushed. Instead of retreating, he took the fight straight to Instagram, mocking J. Prince and daring him to lay all his cards on the table if he truly had nothing to hide. Word is, 50 is holding onto some serious evidence, documents and receipts that could do real damage to J. Prince's empire if revealed. He may not be looking for a war, but he is clearly not afraid of one either. Still, this is not a one-sided battlefield. J. Prince continues to hold deep roots in the streets of Houston, and his influence there remains powerful. While 50 Cent is far from defenseless, surrounded by loyal allies ready to go to bat for him, he is navigating dangerous waters. The tension is real, the stakes are high, and both sides know exactly what they are up against. This clash between two heavyweights is shaping up to be one for the books. It is more than just a disagreement. It is a power struggle between two men who refuse to bow. For years, 50 Cent has been publicly challenging J. Prince, questioning not only his authority but the system he represents. One major issue? The whole check-in culture, a street-coded tradition that 50 has openly dismissed, saying there is no real value in extorting people under the guise of respect. He has made it clear, real ones do not need to check in anywhere. J. Prince, on the other hand, has long seen himself as the gatekeeper of Houston, a city he believes should be moved through on his terms. Their feud never truly fizzled out, only simmered beneath the surface. J. Prince ruled the Houston streets while 50 held it down in New York. As long as their paths stayed separate, there was no real collision course until now. Things shifted dramatically when 50 Cent made the bold move to plant his flag in J. Prince's backyard. This was not just a casual change of scenery. 50 did not simply move, he brought his entire operation with him. Business, branding, influence, everything. He sent a message to the world with a simple tweet: "I love New York, but I live in Houston now." I'll explain later. That tweet was more than a relocation notice, it was a warning shot. By moving to Houston, 50 flipped the script and forced the long-standing tension out of the shadows. What was once a distant rivalry became a frontline confrontation. And now, the spotlight is on. One of the biggest motivators behind 50 Cent's move to Houston had nothing to do with ego, it was about strategy. The steep tax hikes in New York, which had soared to a staggering 62%, were cutting deep into his earnings. As a sharp businessman, 50 knew it made more sense to take his empire somewhere that would not bleed his pockets dry. And like many entrepreneurs looking for financial breathing room, he saw Texas as a land of opportunity, specifically Houston. But taxes were just one piece of the puzzle. 50 Cent's encroachment on his domain. J. Prince allegedly attempted to coerce 50 Cent into checking in first in an attempt to force 50 to drop some bans. He dispatched his men to exert pressure, however 50 was not going to let that happen. He immediately informed J. Prince that he has his own protection, and that he would not be coerced by J. Prince to check in. "It's a sucker to me, a sucker is a pick who he fight with, right? Like if you see you, oh I'm not going to because this I don't, __, with him. But I __, with this, yeah, I think I can." Beat, however, Jay Prince became even more irate. As a result, rumor has it that he attempted to impose a no-fly zone on 50. However, 50 made it apparent that he did not play those kinds of games, thus it did not work again. Furthermore, 50 was not keeping quiet to avoid upsetting Jay Prince. He was out there going about his business, doing what he did, and even giving his community opportunities. 50 Cent had planned to open a new film studio for his company Gunnet Film in Houston. The project was going to cost about $20 million, but 50 decided to put a stop to that initiative and relocate the entire company to Shreveport, Louisiana. During the city's annual Thanksgiving Day parade, Houston rolled out the red carpet for 50 Cent in a major way, honoring him with his very own 50 Cent Day. The gesture was not just about celebrity recognition, it was a celebration of impact, both cultural and community-based. Mayor Sylvester Turner did not hold back in his praise. He called 50 one of the most influential forces to ever touch the city, not just as an artist, but as a chainmaker. Through his G-Unity initiative, 50 Cent had done more than entertain, he had empowered. He helped turn local high school students into entrepreneurs, taught them business fundamentals, and supported causes that directly uplifted the youth and their schools. Rapper, businessman, philanthropist, he wears many hats, the mayor said. But here in Houston, he is family. He went on to assure 50 that no matter where he goes or how high he rises, the city would always have a place for him. It was a powerful moment that reflected how deeply his efforts had resonated, not just in music, but in real lives across the community. On November 24th, Houston officially rolled out the love for 50 Cent, declaring the day in his honor. As the parade crowd erupted in cheers, it was not just about celebrity, it was personal. The people embraced him like one of their own, and the energy in the air was electric. When 50 took the stage to accept the honor, he did not just soak in the spotlight, he gave credit where it was due. He spoke about his move to Houston, not as a retreat from New York, but as a deliberate step toward building something meaningful. And he had followed through on that promise, working hands-on with high schools, mentoring students through his G-Unity camp, and helping young minds transform into business thinkers. Mayor Sylvester Turner laid it all out for the crowd. He didn't just move here, he invested himself here. He's made our schools stronger, inspired our youth, and raised this city's profile in more ways than one. With that, he handed 50 the symbolic key to the city, joking that any building you walk up to now, just use this key and the doors will open. But while the city was celebrating 50's rise, not everyone was clapping. Behind the scenes, Jay Prince was reportedly fuming. As 50 climbed Houston's social and political ranks, it became harder to ignore the shift in influence. The same city that once seemed fully under Prince's command was now embracing a new leader, someone who had not only brought star power, but had actively poured into the community. And whether anyone said it out loud or not, the writing was on the wall. 50 Cent was not just living in Houston, he was becoming a cornerstone of it. Meanwhile, Jay Prince's dominance was slowly being pushed to the side. Treated like a criminal while 50 is given the city's keys. Since arriving in Houston, 50 Cent has supported several charity initiatives and improved his community. By using his money, for example, he established the Gunnet Business Lab under his Gunnet Foundation, an educational intervention program created to help develop the entrepreneurial skills of high school students in the Houston International School District. He has also made inroads into Houston's entertainment and sports landscape. The Houston Rockets, Astros, and Texans have partnered with his Sire Spirits business in 2022. He also served as the host of the first Houston Tycoon Comedy and Music Festival. He collaborated with the Rockets that same year to provide 1,000 free turkeys to local families for Thanksgiving. But that's not all. In 2023, he donated $850,000 worth of toys at what appears to be a benevolent initiative is actually a carefully crafted front for an extortion operation. The so-called checking-in system is a practice where artists who visit Houston are expected to pay up in exchange for a sense of security while they're there. It's not about fostering growth or opportunities for the city's culture. It's about creating a revenue stream through intimidation. Jay Prince has carefully cultivated this image as the King of Houston, but behind that crown is a business model that profits off the fear and vulnerability of those who just want to perform and make music. His team has been running this racket for years, turning an idea meant to protect into one that pressures and manipulates. For artists looking to make their mark in Houston, the cost of entry is no longer just talent. It's the price of playing by Prince's rules. What appears to be a benevolent initiative is actually a carefully crafted front for an extortion operation. The so-called checking-in system is a practice where artists who visit Houston are expected to pay up in exchange for a sense of security while they're there. It's not about fostering growth or opportunities for the city's culture. It's about creating a revenue stream through intimidation. Prince has carefully cultivated this image as the King of Houston, but behind that crown is a business model that profits off the fear and vulnerability of those who just want to perform and make music. His team has been running this racket for years, turning an idea meant to protect into one that pressures and manipulates. For artists looking to make their mark in Houston, the cost of entry is no longer just talent. It's the price of playing by Prince's rules. Get hung up on that word checking in, yeah. So, if we could diversify that word and bring it up to a 2021 thing, right? What's the word OG? What's the word hello? Maybe we may want to tell them they need to get it as more than a simple hello. Usually it is to drop large amounts of money, which Prince claims is for their safety, so they do not get jumped and so. However, the reality behind these claims is much darker. Artists are essentially left with no choice but to pay up. If they refuse, believing their own security will suffice, the consequences can be severe. The system which Prince and his team run ensures that payment is not optional. It's either comply or face the wrath. Take NBA YoungBoy's situation as an example. When he came to Houston for a business trip and opted out of checking in, he paid a steep price. Two men broke into his home, stealing some of his possessions as retribution for not following the rules. It's a harsh reminder of the unspoken price for not participating in the system Prince has set up. Refuse to check in, and you risk losing far more than just money. When NBA YoungBoy's belongings were stolen, cash, expensive cars, and jewelry, the thieves demanded a ransom of $30,000 to return them. But YoungBoy wasn't about to let himself be swindled. Instead of caving to their demands, he hit back, telling them they were acting foolish and childish. His defiance was clear. What's up? What you on? You really think I'm going to give in to this nonsense? His confidence was unwavering, even as the situation spiraled. He made it clear that he wasn't impressed by their attempts to intimidate him into paying. You think you can play me for $30,000? Nah, I'm not going out like that. As the standoff continued, things took a turn when Prince unexpectedly entered the fray. In a video posted to Instagram, when the robbers initially demanded that NBA YoungBoy reach out to Prince to retrieve his stolen property, YoungBoy made it clear that he wasn't playing those games. He refused to be part of any circus, stating that he didn't need new relationships or friends, and that he didn't respect the whole public spectacle of it all. If you've got something for me, you can contact me directly. There's no need for internet drama. I'm good without all the publicity, he said, stressing that when you buy things in cash, the keys come with it. He wasn't going to be manipulated or caught up in anyone's attempt to make this a public stunt. And it wasn't just YoungBoy calling out Prince for his so-called checking-in system. On an episode of their podcast It Is What It Is, Cameron and Maze took direct shots at him, mocking the practice and Prince's attempts to control the younger generation. They ridiculed him for trying to teach the youth how to improve their lives by playing games that seemed outdated for someone his age. You're not talking to us like we're your little kids. We've grown beyond that, they said, making it clear that times had changed. They weren't interested in the old-school mentality that Prince was trying to impose. Not your little, __, like for real all that big homie stuff that's for little, __, little, __, have big homies, we're not little, __. So we don't even respect big homies, I know Killer doesn't, and for me I never respected. underscore underscore. In the streets, that's why I always got the problems I got, underscore underscore, would tell me, Mace, chill. No chill for what, who is this, underscore underscore. That's how I feel listening to this man. Like, I want to respect you, but I can't, and I'm going to tell you why. Cause if I got a little like the dudes that raised me, if I was out of pocket, they would tell me I'm out of pocket. They wouldn't let me put them on a crash out mission. They would say, yo Mace, listen. Not to mention the elaborate games of chance that J Prince and his kids set up for rappers upon their arrival in Houston. Rumor has it that J Prince's extortion plot includes these dice games as well. Y'all have probably heard the rumors that J Prince allegedly had something to do with Takeoff's death due to the fact that Takeoff died during one of those notorious dice games. Official reports stated that there had been a quarrel and that individuals had pulled out hammers and begun shooting. Takeoff was tragically killed when one of the rounds. A recent video has surfaced, shedding new light on the tragic events surrounding Takeoff's death, and it tells a story that diverges from earlier accounts. The video suggests that the incident may not have unfolded exactly as it was initially portrayed. Reports indicate that J Prince was visibly displeased with Quavo and Takeoff for not adhering to his expectation of checking in during their time in Houston. Allegedly, this frustration led him to instruct his associates to discipline them. While it was initially believed that Takeoff would only be sidelined for a short period due to a minor altercation, the situation spiraled out of control, resulting in Takeoff's untimely death. As the narrative unfolds, J Prince's behavior raises questions, with him appearing to dodge direct inquiries whenever the subject is brought up, adding further complexity and suspicion to the situation. When asked about the controversy, J Prince defended his family's reputation, emphasizing their long-standing track record of over 3 decades of hospitality and respect for their guests. He argued that nothing like this had ever happened before and insisted that people were simply talking, trying to stir up trouble. However, the deeper issue remains. Takeoff is not the only person to lose their life after engaging in one of these notorious dice games. Remember Duke the jeweler? He thought he'd hit it big, winning $100,000